I did not either.
Okay, moving on to item 4, discussion and consideration of approving an ordinance repealing and recreating Chapter 340, Schedule F, limited parking zones. Jason or Steve?
I'll start. Chapter 340 of the municipal code contains all the hourly parking restrictions in the city of Hartford. City administrator has proposed limited term parking in the spaces immediately behind City Hall to better provide parking for residents with business at City Hall. In reviewing Schedule F as it is currently written, it became clear there were several issues which have accumulated in Section F over the last 20 years. First one is multiple parking zones that have been created over the years that are no longer organized within the code. We have parking zones which are no longer of use by the city or adjacent properties. And there are some outdated legal descriptions due to parking lot and right-of-way changes. To address the issues, the city attorney, city engineer, and Department of Public Works collaborated to reorganize, consolidate, and correct Schedule F. The proposed ordinance streamlines the parking zones by eliminating unused parking categories and consolidating parking zones where possible. All the legal descriptions have been reviewed and corrected so that all the references are up to date, and a map of the final changes is also included. I'll just bring that map up now if I can. So we have the map here. The only one that's really not in the downtown area is Pine Street. We've got I believe that's a 2-hour parking zone over there. Otherwise, the rest of them here are in the downtown area. We've got some 4-hour parking, 2-hour parking. The proposed 90-minute parking behind City Hall is the new one. And then some 30-minute stalls along North Main Street. And then we also have a couple of 15-minute loading zone areas on Jackson and on Main Street. The fiscal impact for this is approximately $1,000 for new signage. We'll have to move some signs around and get some new signs. And the recommendation is that we should update Schedule F with these new parking zones.
Okay. I'm going to, are there any questions or comments about this?
Yeah, again, a lot of this is just kind of a cleanup situation. So we had some, different periods. You saw that what he has up right now. Well, what he had up there right now, six different time frames. We probably had even more than that before this, and so this is kind of cleaning up a lot of these. And then, as you see on that, now we're down to 5 different minute parking zones, 5 different zones. So again, the idea is just trying to make sure we adapt our parking to the needs at that time. Some of the changes that we've had or even actually removed are areas in which somewhat in the downtown area that no longer have businesses attached or adjacent to. And then, of course, the new one is the 90-minute parking. One of the biggest concerns and complaints we get all the time is that people that when they come to City Hall have nowhere to park because all the spots behind City Hall are taken. We have stressed to our staff not to park in those areas so that, again, it's open for the residents. But we have, like, when we have court dates, it's always full. When we have elections, it's always full. Anytime that we have a lot of people here, when we have major meetings, it's always full. So we try to get as much of that cleaned up in the back as possible so that, again, residents who just want to stop in, pay a bill, and get out have ample spaces to park.
Okay, that it all makes sense to me. The only question I have is we have worked on parking at other times downtown, and we've made other arrangements. Does it change any of those? Like, it doesn't change. This is all behind City Hall, right?
Well, this is behind City Hall, in front of City Hall. Some of the changes in which you referred to, Rachel, included like a couple of businesses asked for just like 10-minute parking or 15-minute parking in front of theirs because they didn't want people to park there all day. Those are still in play with 15-minute parking.
Okay, yeah, those are the kind of ones I was referring to where we had made, like, I think we changed one from 2 hours to 30 minutes, and then we put some 30-minute ones in front of City Hall. And I know we've been like picking and choosing and going at this, single space by single space. And I was just curious, this kind of cleans a lot of that up, huh?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Are there any? Oh, Doug?
So makes sense to me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Okay.
One is the Pine Street one. Why is parking restricted on one side of the street? Is that because of the businesses on the other side? So that the residents aren't parked full, or what's that specifically for?
I know I believe the time zone is because there are businesses over there. And I believe
Right.
it's only on one side because parking's only allowed on that side. I don't
Okay,
think there's
right.
parking on the other side.
And then under the item 3 on that item, it talks about 90, and let's see here. Number 3, parking limited to 90 minutes hour. So that needs to get cleaned up for
So,
the final wording.
okay,
Other than that, I'm fine with it. This will be one of those things where a year or two down the way, it may need modifying again if some other new issue comes up. But for right now, fine with it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I just want to make a quick thing that I'm fine with the times. Though unofficially, I've heard people say, just overhearing people talk at the Perk Place that they wish they could have 3 hours, but I think 2 hours is okay for now. And then weekends or evenings they can park longer than the 2 hours. So I don't know if anyone else has heard anything.
I hear about parking regularly, but I mean, this addresses a lot of opening up spaces. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, we do get requests on parking. I wouldn't say a lot, but we get some, and they just request all kinds of different timeframes.
Mhm.
If you start doing that we're gonna have 15 different time zones or time frames for parking.
Right.
It's easier if we try and keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just bringing it up. I'm fine with the current or the new proposed cleanup.
Okay. Then I will look for a motion to approve the ordinance repealing and recreating chapter 340 schedule F. You have to speak. I can't see all of you. Any motion to approve?
Doug Carroll moved to approve.
Doug to approve and
Yes.
Second by Dennis.
second by Dennis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, item 5 is adjournment. I will look for a motion.
Doug Carroll moves to adjourn.
Doug to adjourn and
Tony seconds.
Second.
Tony
Okay.
for a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
great.
Okay.